Okay, we are going to be putting together our whole little collage with our animal. And today you will be getting a new piece of paper that's either brown or green. And this is the very, very background. So what you're going to use is oil pastels. And you can see how I've kind of layered green here. And I'm going to take some darker green and put some color layer over that. I want to make sure I get to the top of the page because that's going to be something that's not covered by the animal. And then I'm using brown. These are for the trees. So this is not supposed to be drawn perfectly. It's kind of fuzzy. So if you look at a picture and you see like a background, it's definitely much fuzzier and not as clear. Everything that's going to be in the foreground or in the front is going to be much, much clearer. So this was nice and filled up, and like I said, I use browns, greens on this, and then if you choose green paper, you'll use the same colors. You'll get a slightly different effect. So this is the very, very background, so it's the fuzziest. Then you're going to cut out your animal, and then you're going to use glue. Now, you want to have glue around the edge, but I always like to make sure I'm not too close to the edge. So I always like to leave like a finger width from the edge, just so that if it seeps out, it will be very minimal. And I don't need any glue in the middle of this. Then you're going to decide where you want your animal to be resting. And I'm kind of centering it on the paper. Let's see, I kind of like put it over that way. And yeah, there's oil pastel, so you don't want to smudge it too much, but you want to make sure you press it down so it lays nice and flat. Okay, so we have this first, and then we're going to go and get a brown piece of paper, and we're going to have some sort of tree that's in front of it. Okay, then we're going to have our gray for the rock or rocks. Then the green will be for the grass and leaves and all of that. So my next one, I'm going to kind of put this aside, would be this one, and I drew out my tree. So I always think of the letter Y, so it kind of goes here. There's a letter Y, here's a Y, this is a big Y, here's a Y. So when I'm doing that, so you have lots of different branches. So I've cut out some of it. And when you're cutting into like a V area, you just want to kind of cut from the opposite side. You can cut from this side a little bit more to remove the piece. And then I could also add on different like grains of the wood and all that. And I can decide where do I want this to be on here. Okay, do I want it kind of covering up the face? I feel like right here is good. And then I would glue that down. Okay, then you're going to get your gray paper, and this is the rocks. So I would glue that down, and this one I already cut out here. I like to draw on the back first. And I can cut out this little rock. Maybe I have another little rock here. Maybe I'll have some more rocks. So I have plenty of paper. Then I've got my green paper. I'm adding on mine like long pieces of grass. And this is going to be the closest thing to the viewer, okay? So the grass, that's going to be in the very, very front. So I want to make that really large, even though grass is not larger than trees, but it's going to give you that nice layered effect, okay? And then I can have like the grass in front here, some grass here, and I can have the leaves of the trees. So I can add little leaves all around there. So you're going to still see mine. I want to make sure I can still see my face because I think the face is kind of cute. So I may have some little grass pieces right in here when I glue, and you can kind of see how they're overlapping. So you're going to fill up the whole space down here with glue and leaves and all that. And I don't expect you guys to finish today. You may have a little time to wrap things up next time, but everyone should at least get their background colored, their animal glued down, and at least the first tree branch on here. And then you can see how these little samples here, there's lots of leaves. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of grass, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6 leaves and 2 rocks. So we're going to save all of our pieces for next week so that we can keep adding to the collage and filling it up more and more to make it interesting.